So we're on the very last part. Gemma is awake, so we will see how this goes. I also lost, oh, there it is. Almost lost my pen. Okay. So I, as I said earlier, don't have any more response papers, so we are just jumping and we're just going to do it on this paper because that's what I've got. Okay. So we have our function f of x equals e to the 2x. You can see her pen moving around. E to the 2x cosine x on the domain from 1 to 2. Part A says show that f prime of x is that. So let's just go ahead and take the derivative. I'm going to do it right here. So part A, we have a product rule problem. So you can separate this out into u, v, u prime, and v prime. So u is going to be e to the 2x. V is going to be cosine x. U prime is going to be 2e to the 2x. V prime is going to be negative sine x. Okay, and then we need to put all these four pieces together to get our derivative. So f prime of x should be equal to 2e to the 2x cosine x plus e to the 2x times negative sine x, which you can rewrite as 2e to the 2x cosine x minus sine x e to the 2x. And remember that we're looking to get a specific function here. It's this guy right here. So it looks like they factored out an e to the 2x. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So e to the 2x. I'm going to end up with 2 cosine x minus sine x left over on the inside. And that is all. Okay, so that's part A. Let's see, part A was 3 marks. You get 1 mark for taking each of these derivatives correctly, and then 1 mark for taking the correct derivative right here and getting 2. So like 1 mark for basically all of this stuff right here, okay, and getting to this correct answer. Okay, so now part B says, there's a little thing about it. Let the line L be the normal. Oh my goodness, there's a typo that I need to fix. Here's that right here. Normal to the curve of f at x equals 0. Okay, so we're looking for the normal line, find the equation of L. So this means first we have to find the tangent slope, then we have to calculate the normal slope. So MT would be calculated by finding f prime of 0 because we're looking at the line at x equals 0. So f prime of 0 is going to be e to the 2 times 0, 2 cosine of 0 minus sine of 0. Now, sine of 0 is just 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. So this is, and then e to the 0 is going to be 1. So this is 1 times 2, which is just 2. This means that m sub n is going to be equal to negative 1 over 2. Okay, so that's our slope. We also need to find our y value that corresponds to the x value given. So we're going to need to find f of 0. So this is going to be e to the 2 times 0 cosine of 0. Cosine of 0 is 1. E to the 0 is 1. So this is just 1. So I'm going to fill in my function. Y equals mx plus b is what I'm filling in. I have my y as 1. My m is the normal slope, which is negative 1/2. My x was 0. So this means that my b must be 1. Okay. So b equals 1. So my final answer is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. Okay, part B was worth 5 whole marks. So I'm going to give you +1 method point for setting up this equation, finding MT where f prime of 0 is your MT. Then +1 for your answer here, finding this normal slope as the negative reciprocal. Then let's see, 1 for finding your y correctly, then plus 1 for solving for b, and then plus 1 for your final answer. And that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total marks right there for part B. And the last thing is part C. Hopefully I can fit it all in this tiny little space at the bottom. So part C, it says the graph of F and the line L intersect at the point 0, 1. So that's this point right here, 0, 1. And at a second point P. P is got to be that guy. Part 1 says find the x coordinate of P. So what I would do, this is calculator active, so I would just throw it in the calculator. So I know what f of x is, e to the 2x, oh, that's not right, e to the 2x times cosine x, so that's one function. Then my other function is going to be my line, so negative 0.5x plus 1. I can go ahead and graph those guys. I might need to change my window. Yeah, because this is just on the domain from 1 to 2. So, so I'm going to go, that's fine. Let's go to 3. Okay. Mine is going to look a lot less steep than the one in the picture because my y values are probably bigger than the ones on the graph there. Okay, so I'm looking for this little area in between these guys. Actually, what I'm looking for right now is the p value. You did. So I'm going to find the intersect between my two curves. Now, normally your guess doesn't matter too much, but right now the guess does matter a lot because there are two places where these functions intersect. So make sure you're close to the actual p-value. Oh, can I have that? This is what she was playing. Yeah, that computer's not good to jump over. Did you step on it? I really hope it didn't break. So I should not have done this with Gemma up. Okay, so what we did here was we set this equal to this, and when we solve that using our calculator, we get 1.56 as our x value. And so that's what I got on my calculator. And then, so that's for part 1. You get plus 1 for this answer, plus 1 for this setup. Then it says find the area of the region enclosed between the two graphs. So this, you just have to set up the integral. So part 2, we're looking for, we have something like this, something like that. And we're looking for this area right here, okay? And so we want to set up the integral from 0 to 1.56 of, and I need to do my top one minus my bottom one. So my top one is the e to the 2x cosine x. And then I'm subtracting off the negative 1/2 x plus 1. Okay, and I don't know what that brown thing is. Always something you want to be asked about, right? So I'm gonna go into my calculator and I'm gonna subtract. I don't know what that brown thing is. The negative 0.5x plus 1. From my function, I'm gonna graph it. I don't know what the brown thing is. And I'm going to calculate. Oh, shoot. I'm in the cage. I know. She's not really in a cage, guys. She's playing in a basket. So don't think I put my kid in a cage. Okay, so I needed to delete my second part of the function. Sorry that this one is a little scattered for obvious reasons. So then I'm going to do second trace to do the calculate. Go down to number 7 for my integral. My lower limit is 0. My upper limit is 1.56. It'll calculate that for us, and you should get about 3.2 square units. Okay, and this is your final answer. So let's see, we did part 1 with the marks. Here for part 2, I want to give you +2 marks for having the integral of the upper function minus the lower function. That's u minus L, the integral of u minus L, +1 for your bounds being correct. So if you didn't get the bound correct in part 1, it's gonna affect this one. This bounds needs to be correct. And then +1 for this answer right here. Okay, so that gives you your 3 marks for part 2. And we are finally done with this test. So hopefully you guys did super well. I will give you guys half points back as a curve, so don't worry about needing to do corrections. Just submit your graded tests as a document on this assessment or assignment, whatever. I hope you guys have a great day. We have one more day of classes because next Monday is Labor Day. Maybe we do have 2. I need to look at the AB Day calendar, so I'm not even going to say anything about that. We have 1 or 2 more days of classes left, which is crazy. I miss you guys so much, and I wish I could give you guys hugs as you go into summer instead of just saying hi in a video. All right, Gemma, come here, say bye. Come here. Come say bye to everybody. You stepped on the brown thing. I think it's a leaf. Come here. She's got crazy nap hair, so don't judge me. Normally it's really great. All right, can you say bye to everybody?
What did you say hi to?
Those are my students. Say bye, students.
Why can I not see them?
Oh, because we're making a video that they'll watch later. It's a good question. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.